This video is brought to you by...
Welcome to Cool Green Clothing. We done gone worldwide and we coming straight out of Baltimore. And if you ain't on the team yet, come on, get with us. Come on and make a purchase. Go online right now. CoolGreenClothing.com and make your purchase. Oh yeah, by the way, if you ain't cool and getting the green, you're in the way. That's just basic.
What's going on, YouTube fam? This your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of Hood Tales, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. Definitely watch this video to the end to hear the full story and all the details in the case. For the day one fam, y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Let's get right into the story. Young girls have it hard out here, trying to become young women. When the culture nowadays is to finesse, get with a street dude, trapper, get taken care of, or be out here dating, not looking for any kind of commitment, which is understandable. Everything is not for everyone, but being young and impressionable can come with consequences. We all wanted to be grown once we hit about 15 or 16. Teens start to feel like their parents' house is terrible, tired of the rules, and want to be free, especially if it's puppy love involved. Now you and your girlfriend or boyfriend feels like it's y'all against the world, thinking they have your best interests at heart, even more than your family. It's cute at first, but the deeper you begin to fall in that mindset of thinking teenage love will be forever, the more you don't understand it's just a season in your life, and you definitely should watch how you are moving, especially if you are dealing with someone with no direction of their own and are out here moving reckless, because you could easily get dragged into a situation mommy and daddy can't get you out of. Now your fairy tale love story turns into a nightmare. And on this episode of Hood Tales, we will be taking it to Huntsville, Alabama, to discuss a case of a young couple's search for independence that turned tragic. Back in 2018, 20-year-old Xavier Scott and 16-year-old Dominique Jackson were a young couple from Clark County, Alabama. The two were like most young couples, feeling like it was them against the world, and had plans of being together and making moves. Their plans would turn into reality when one day Dominique told Xavier she wasn't happy at home and wanted to run away, but not alone, with him. Happy about it, Xavier came up with a plan. They get all the money they could, pack a few items, and go be independent, away from parents and rules. They decided to go to Huntsville, Alabama. They got there by hitchhiking, catching rides from different people until they reached. Once there, they were happy to be on their own, but had to find places to stay and food to eat. They would stay at random places, motels, people's apartments, wherever they could crash at. Things seemed to be going well, and to kind of going with the flow, after about 2 weeks, money started to get low. But on September 22nd, 2018, things would get crazy. That evening, Dominique and Xavier headed to a Dollar General store located on US 231. They entered to buy food and a few other items. Around about that same time, the couple were there. 29-year-old Tiffany Kelly entered the store as well, a married woman and mother of 2 twin boys. After Tiffany purchased her items, she allegedly noticed the young couple, who explained they had walked some ways from where they were staying, and they were wondering could they catch a ride. Since they had a lot of items, Tiffany agreed and said she just needed to go by her house, grab her ID, and pick up her husband. All three entered her vehicle and was chopping it up, talking, but right when Tiffany was getting close to her home, things would take a dark turn. She was repeatedly stabbed in her neck, then dumped out the vehicle into the street. Xavier and Dominique then drove away in Tiffany's Nissan Sentra, heading back home to Clark County. Later that night, local police were alerted of a body lying on Green Cove Road in South Huntsville. They arrived to the scene to find Tiffany unfortunately already gone. Family and friends were notified and stunned as she only went out to the store. They also told detectives her car was gone. Police traced the young mother's steps back to the Dollar General and looked at surveillance video that showed two people approach Tiffany in the parking lot. After a brief conversation, they all got in her car. Meanwhile, the couple made their way back 250 miles towards home. Once back around their way, Xavier and Dominique headed to his cousin's home to stay. Not thinking too much of it, his family welcomed the young couple. But as Xavier's cousin overheard an argument the two were having, Dominique could be heard saying something about leaving home and wanting to return, leaving family members thinking she was kidnapped. Then news will pop up explaining the murder of Tiffany, her vehicle description, and a young black male and female as suspects. Family really got suspicious once they saw the young couple cleaning out the car. Putting two and two together, Xavier's cousin contacted local authorities, but the two quickly left the home. Dominique tried to alert a citizen in the street, stating she was scared and her boyfriend hurt someone in Huntsville, but Xavier quickly pushed her in the car and took off. As police started searching for the couple, they caught them by Xavier's mother's home and found Tiffany's car behind a local laundromat. Once in custody, Dominique was looked at first as a victim, but sticking by Xavier, she soon would say she did it and wasn't kidnapped at all. In the next room, Xavier also stated she did the incident and he was just trying to cover it up and get her home safely. As a search of the car was done, the knife was found, in which the couple stated they found it on a bus stop by the Dollar General. Both Xavier and Dominique were arrested, charged with robbery and capital murder, and extradited back to Huntsville. Tiffany family held a vigil for the wife and mother, using orange and blue, the colors of the Auburn Tigers, which she was a fan of. They told the news the couple stated Dominique was pregnant. Already being a nice person who didn't mind helping people, that gave Tiffany even more reason to get the strangers a ride. The community was in shock, calling it a good Samaritan that was repaid by this. As the case made its way to trial, Xavier stepped up and said it was all him and his idea, and Dominique was just there for the ride. But her interrogation room statements would come back to haunt her, stating she did it all. Xavier blamed the incident on anxiety and depression, telling the court he blacked out and didn't remember what he did. After his confession, Xavier pleaded guilty to all charges, but his sentence is unknown at this time. Dominique got the capital murder charges dropped, but was convicted of robbery and still given a life sentence at just 17 years old. Rest in peace to Tiffany. I send my deepest prayers and condolences to her family. This was a tough story to get through. As a father of two young girls, this is a nightmare. Your daughter going down this path. What started off as a rebellion to leave home and be with her boyfriend turned to a person gone and a life sentence. I kind of feel bad for Dominique. Life for robbery, but it is Alabama. I think she was definitely an example because the capital hit charge was dropped and Xavier admitted to it all, but it's too late. In his situation, Shorty led her astray. The blind leading the blind. He had no idea how they was going to survive. It was all fun until their money ran out and they wanted to go back home, leaving innocent people at risk of their selfish plans. Young girls, let this be a lesson. I know Dominique wished she would have just stayed at the crib. It probably wasn't even all that bad. Definitely not as bad as what she at now. All just to be grown before they were ready. So remember, we gotta succeed, not to fail, so we won't be just another hood tale. Man, crazy story. Rest in peace to Tiffany. Like I said, I send my deepest prayers and condolences to her family. But like I said, man, I kind of feel bad for the young lady. It seemed like she definitely got railroaded because life for robbery, even though I understand somebody lost their life. As far as for Xavier, even though he copped out to it all, I couldn't find nothing. Well, he been sentenced yet? He probably still waiting. You know, I think in the state of Alabama, I think they still got that, you know what I mean, that penalty, you feel me, to get you out of there. So I'm not sure if they going for that in this situation. But it's messed up, man. At the end of the day, crazy story. What started out as just them having fun, just out here living life, turned to this. But yeah, let me know what y'all think about it in the comments. Remember to be respectful. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. Y'all already know it's all love, fam. This your boy Tony 2 times. This another episode of Hood Tales. I'm out.